Hi everyone. I wasn't gonna make this video because as you can see, I don't exactly look great, came from the gym and all that, but I did have someone ask me a question that they were concerned about, and this is more of an IEP issue, so if you have special needs kids, this probably pertains to you. And it is something that a lot of people need to know when it's about children that have a risk for flight from a school. And what that means is that if your child has a tendency, say for example, if they're bipolar, autistic, or any other behavioral issues, for whatever reason they decide to run from campus, they'll just try to leave. They'll try to run the fence, they'll try to run the school. And sometimes this does happen. And say for example, with my child, he has behavioral issues due to an arachnoid brain cyst. Well, before he was diagnosed, one time he decided to run underneath the fence of the school and take off during school hours. Now they did manage to stop him, but needless to say, during that time, the school decided to call Child Welfare Services and say, well, we feel the reason why he is doing this is because of the parent's fault. Now, I hired an IEP lawyer. And like I said in another one of my videos, she's an amazing person. What I learned and what I was telling other people to please, number one, I'm not a legal person, but I learned from personal experience that if you can afford to hire a lawyer, please do that. If you can't understand that, what I was taught was that whatever happens on a school campus is the legal responsibility of the school. So if the child takes flight on campus, it is the school's responsibility to legally take charge and to find the child. And if the child is injured on campus, it is the school's fault. It is not the parent's responsibility. And what you'll find out is sometimes the school likes to call Child Welfare Services and blame the parents because they don't want to be sued. And that is really usually what they do. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it's what happened with me. They were trying to avoid a responsibility. And also the reason why is what you're going to find out is sometimes when these children run from the campus, there's usually a child gets upset with another child that they don't tell you about. Maybe there's an argument that happens, they don't want to follow instructions. Usually it has nothing to do with anything at the house. It usually has something, 90% of the time, it has something to do with an incident that happened on the campus. But what we see and what I personally experience is that the school does not want to tell the parent that because, again, they're trying to avoid a lawsuit. It's easier just to call Child Welfare Services and say, you know what, this kid is a problem, we don't understand what's going on. And so we figure that if we call Child Welfare Services and blame them, we'll just avoid responsibility. That is not fair. What you can do is put in your IEP that they have to contact you when there is when your child does flee the campus. They need to call you. The reason why is if your child does have a legal diagnosis of mental health, I don't care if it's autism, bipolar disorder, ADHD, if your child is under the care of a licensed psychiatrist or even a psychologist, but especially a psychiatrist, you need to know. If the school fails to tell you this, if your child is under a licensed care provider, they need to tell you so you can call or contact that provider, because that will allow you to take immediate action to see if medication changes need to be made or if they need to make an immediate doctor visit. By the school not telling you and calling Child Welfare Services, they are actually, from my personal experience, in doing the child neglect, because there is a chance for a repeat in behavior. Child Welfare Services has no education in mental health. They are not affiliated with psychiatrists, from my personal experience. So the one person that you need to contact is the doctor, the people in medical care, and the psychiatrist, again, the psychologist. So write it in your IEP that they have to contact you. And of course, that's the reason why. It's because you need to make sure, you want to find out why is the child fleeing. And what you're going to find, again, 90% of the times it has to do with an incident that has happened on the school grounds. It has nothing to do with you. But if you want to protect yourself and obviously your child, you want to say, hey, look, I want to make an appointment with the doctor to find out what's going on. So I need to know, I'm staring at my phone, sorry. But I need to know what's going on. So in order to protect my child, I'm going to call a doctor and find out what's going on. You're preventing me from doing that by not calling me and not telling me what's going on. See, it's a cat game. Rather than actually protecting the child, they're not telling you anything. And so trying to explain this to parents, I do belong to some Facebook groups, so if you can check it out, I would advise anybody to do this. Please protect yourself and understand there's a bunch of options that a lot of people don't know about. And like I said, I think I pay thousands for an IEP lawyer. I have 2 kids that I had to cover. So if you're not able to afford one, please understand you do have rights. You can write this into addendum. And this is for people who have had children that are flight risk. So I'm talking about they've taken off. I've seen some kids, I've seen everything, but I've seen some kids literally jump a fence and the teachers are literally chasing these kids down the road, you know. And I had one parent, I heard where her child was literally, they didn't call her until it was too late. CWS is all contacting, and it happened on school grounds where the child fled campus and was, 10 blocks down the road. That's not okay. The school should be contacting the parent right away. And if the child has a mental health issue, she should be calling, and of course she wanted to contact the medical care provider, and of course finding out, having a meeting right away. You can call a meeting with the school and say what happened. They have to do this by law. So please be aware of your rights. Please be aware of your children's rights. And as an advocate, as somebody that has gone through hellfire, I don't want parents to suffer or deal with child welfare services if you don't have to. And as a person changing my major, but who was going to go into the social worker program, I want to say most people are not like this in social work. There's so many parts of social work that are awesome. Elder care is wonderful. Drug prevention, they are so wonderful. But child welfare services is just the one avenue that everybody goes, it's embarrassing. So in order to not deal with that as much as you can, and to protect yourself, your family, and obviously take care of your children and yourself, this is what I would do if it were me. And I know it costs me money, but if I can save you some money, please do this. All right. Again, I know I look like crap, but it was kind of an immediate question answer issue that I needed to get out. So, all right, eventually I will wear makeup. All right. Okay, bye-bye.